Hey fam, I hope you'll be able to hear me okay, because I just tried to record a video and there was like no sound, so we're going to try this again. I want to talk a little bit about relationships since Valentine's Day is quickly approaching. And I want to talk about the fact that it's difficult to try to say that a relationship is going to be successful when you have to contend with the fact that not only will several relationships where there's an issue where other people are envious or jealous of that, relationship, and then will try to do things to break that relationship up. And this can be obviously in a variety of ways. It can be people within that extended family dynamic that are trying to do that just because they're miserable POSs and they want to make everybody else miserable, so they feel like they need to insert themselves in the middle of somebody else's effort to be happy in a relationship. So that's one way that it often manifests, is that like extended family will basically stick their nose in people's business that they have no right to do that. And another way that often will manifest is just, people that are completely unrelated to the relationship sticking their nose into things that they really have no business sticking their nose into. And the reason I want to talk about this is it really doesn't matter for instance, what my intentions are as an individual. Even if I wanted to pursue a relationship and I had the best of intentions, it really doesn't matter, because I have absolutely no control over whether or not the other party in that relationship is manipulatable. And that's going to really depend on their own moral compass, their integrity, whether or not they can spot the manipulation, whether or not they have the skill set necessary to stand up for themselves and the relationship and push back and not allow other people to, dissuade them in that relationship. People are unfortunately very manipulatable. And if you have the right, I don't want to say like blackmail, but I mean, if you have leverage against somebody, then it's easy to get them to kind of do your bidding, even if that means that they're going to be miserable from a relationship standpoint. You can kind of force their hand if you have enough information on them to ensure their unhappiness. And I just really wanted to talk about this because there are so many people in this world that are in arranged relationships, and you really can't even call them relationships. You really have to call them situationships or manipulationships, because they're not truly relationships. They are manufactured for public consumption. Now, obviously, this is a very clear-cut case when you're talking about people in the public eye. But even people that aren't in the public eye are often put in this dynamic. And then they're basically living a lie. They're living in a situation that is just rife with unhappiness, but they don't know how to get out of it without putting themselves at risk and potentially putting other people at risk. I think that's why, after surviving what I survived, I will absolutely never date again. I just won't do it. And that's not because I'm bitter. It's because no matter what my intentions are, and no matter what that other person's intentions are, even if they have the purest of intentions, I know that the world around them and the world around me is such that in my life, it seems that I have never been in a position to be allowed to be happy. And I wouldn't want to bring someone else into that situation. I honestly feel like the dynamics of my life are such that there are too many other people wielding control over my life in some way, shape, or form. And I honestly feel that anyone that ever approaches me and seems to be the type of person that is trying to or attempting to pursue a relationship with me, I honestly feel like that is not genuine. I always feel like there is some hidden motive, some unspoken hidden motive behind it. And so my ability to trust that that is coming from a genuine place, it's so shattered, I'm never going to be able to do that. And so rather than even putting anyone in the position to have to deal with my issues surrounding that, because of what I've experienced in the long-standing, long-term, more than decades of abuse that I've survived, I just won't put anybody through that. I know that my recovery process, based upon what I've been through, is probably going to be a lifelong process. And in all honesty, I don't know that I will ever fully recover from what I've been put through. And I just don't want anybody else to be pulled into that. I really don't. Like, it's not fair to them. And if you haven't been a survivor of extreme psychopathic narcissistic abuse, you're not going to be able to relate to what I've survived. And there are very few people that if I explain the dynamics that I have managed to and struggled to survive, there's very few people that would even be able to slightly relate to that. So that really, even from that perspective, it narrows the pool of people that I could even have an in-depth conversation with, and wouldn't just see me like at a surface level of, she's just bitter, or she's just hurt, she has healing work to do. Really a lack of acknowledgement of the fact that this seems to be, in my life at least, it seems to be a concerted effort by other people, that anytime I'm experiencing the slightest amount of joy and happiness in my life, there's a concerted effort to destroy that. So this isn't me saying they win. This is me saying I'm not playing the game. You guys can play with yourselves, because I'm not going to participate in the bullshit anymore. I will join a convent before I will ever be put in a situation for you to take from me again in a relationship context. I hope that I've made that clear. It seems to me that you want to try to paint me in a light that is very critical and extremely judgmental. And I can guarantee you the people that are doing this probably have way more skeletons in their closet than anything they could ever dig up on me. So it's kind of comical. But that's just, typical narcissistic projection. That's very common in psychopathic, narcissistic people. They want to attack what they can't be, what they do not have the creativity and the intelligence to be. And the only way that they can try to maintain a position of dominance over people that are far more intelligent and creative than them is to try to defame them, to crush them, to stifle their creativity, to force them into indentured servitude, to do anything and everything they can to dim their light. Well, good luck with that. One with God is majority. And I firmly believe that I don't need a partner, because my higher power is my partner. I don't need a fleshly, earthly partner to be happy. That's what you idiots don't seem to get. And you keep wanting to push people towards me, and it's a waste of time for you and me. I hope that you understand where I'm coming from. All the best.